Welcome back for some Saturday morning coffee. I'm your host, Michael, and it has been a long week. I feel like I've been dealing with some general life burnout, and it's not at all from the content grind because when I'm making this content, I am super excited and I'm really enjoying it. And I think what's helping cause it is like this 24-hour news cycle and just constantly being blasted from all directions on my phone and off the phone with current events. And I know how important it is to stay informed and aware, but everyone deserves a little bit of a break because you cannot be hyper aware of the world 24/7. Like, it's not how we were built. It's not how we evolved. And it's just, sometimes it gets to be a little too much. And I feel like I've been there for the last couple of weeks of just like, I need a break from the constant news cycle. And I can't seem to find that break anywhere I go. And so it's kind of just been piling on. And then I think some of that life burnout is coming from academics. So like, I have my bachelor's degree, started a master's degree, dropped out because that was a bad career choice. And then now I'm like going back to school for a new degree, software engineering. And I'm in a place in my life where I can only do like 2 classes a semester. Well, even with all of my prior credits and professional experiences to write off other classes, at 2 credits a semester, I still have like 5 years left, like 10 semesters to go. And I look at that and I'm just like, no, I don't want to be taking classes for 5 more years. Like, it's just not in me. I can't do that. And like, to me, it's like the only way to get out of this is to quit school and take like 15 or 17 credits in one semester and just get it over with, right? But obviously, I'm turning 30 this year. That's not an option. And so like looking at how many more years that I have to still put up with college classes and the things that come with it are like advisors and professors who just flat refuse to respond to communications, or in my case, like 18 to 22-year-olds who have never used programs like GitHub to store your code or collaborated on a team project before, and getting cranky with you because you're trying to divvy up work fairly and appropriately, and they don't understand that managing a collective's code base is itself some of that work in a group project. And so it's just a lot of things that go into it that make me not want to do 5 more years of this, unfortunately, like I'm gonna like stuck like until I get a job in the field or a better job than what I have right now. I kind of have to stick with this. It sucks. And it has not been great, but I just don't have a way out of it yet. Until someone, sees my worth. Anyways, something that I think did not help with this feeling of burnout this week was like, I think on Tuesday, I stayed up a little too late playing South Park, The Stick of Truth, and after that, it took me days of trying to figure out how to slip in a little bit of extra sleep here and there to feel better. So I think that might have just been it this week, is I needed to get more sleep. But with the content cycle and homework and just, life, getting extra sleep is really, really difficult. So I think lesson learned. The issue with it is that I was just having a grand old time. I was like, oh, I'll just beat this boss and go to bed. And I was like halfway through the fight, and I looked at my phone, and I'm like, oh, it's like 45 minutes past when I normally turn everything off and turn in. or start getting ready to turn in. And then by the time the boss fight was over and I could save, I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. And I was right. It did suck the next day. So one little slip up made the whole week rough. I will say, in dealing with this burnout stuff, that I have, with finally getting the paints for painting minifigures, and then getting to do a couple of videos on that. Like I've done 2 at the time of this recording, 2 minifigure paintings. I'm going to say that painting these minifigures might skyrocket to being one of my most therapeutic pastimes. And so I think like I'm planning on doing a marathon of a bunch of painting videos like next weekend, and I'm really looking forward to it because like even though I'm super stressed out while I'm sitting there trying to paint these minifigures, it's also so relaxing and so calming at the same time. Like it's weird to have both anxiety and calming feelings at the same time. It makes it seem like it's not, but and I'm like shaking and nervous, right? But it has been very enjoyable. And so I have been really appreciating that I actually bought the paints and have been painting these figures, and the amount of joy at the end when I'm like, oh man, this looks so much better than just a solid gray figurine. It's been pretty nice. So this, and I'm not good at this. I don't know what I'm doing. There are like, wet palettes and a dry palette, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with both wet and dry palettes. I'm so confused about how to use the different components. I'm not a good painter. I don't have a steady hand. I don't know what colors are made when I mix colors. That's a childhood thing that I just don't remember. And so there's a lot of pieces to painting minifigures that I'm just not good at. It's not even that I'm not good at it. It's just that I don't know what I'm doing. And honestly, the how to paint books that came with my paint stuff, not as helpful as I was hoping for. So that didn't really get me anywhere in terms of like getting better at painting. I know that I could just, type it into Google and I'm sure I would find someone to explain it. But I did, like, in general, Google it. And it did not do a good job of helping me understand what the hell wet palettes are and what I'm supposed to do with them. So that just, that was just not helpful. And so I still got to figure that out. And I don't even think I really know any like recreational painters to ask how to do something. Anyways, so far my first guy turned out, I accidentally made him look like Spyro. Whoops. Second dude, I made him look like Lunala from Pokemon. And that was, the first half was unintentional. And then I realized what I was doing. I was like, we gotta go full board. So I even pulled up a picture for it. Anyways, I got a lot of ideas from my other paints, and I'm really excited about it. That's why I've been lingering on this topic longer than I had intended. Here's something I have an issue with. Games recently, I've had an issue with a couple of games recently where they've announced that their servers are closing, and so that means that you can't play them online anymore. So I'm trying to play other games. There are other games that I want to play right now. And then now that they have announced that their servers are closing, like I don't have a choice. I have to go back to those games and try to mop up the achievements that I don't have yet. And so now I've got 2 games with servers closing within the next like 60 days. And I'm like, son of a bitch. It's bad enough to have 1 on your plate, but to have 2 is very stressful. So now, it's most likely that I will not be able to get these achievements by myself in the offline version of the game, because both games are meant to be played online. So I'm frantically trying to find time to get these achievements. And it's not been easy trying to find that extra little bit of time when with the content schedule, like every single day is structured to say, I will be doing this that day and this that day and so on. And then editing is the second half of this evening kind of thing. Like it's very structured to make sure that I can get everything out ahead of time, because I started this year off with some banked up videos, and I ran through those, and now I'm trying to get those stocked back up. I would just like to propose a change, even though no developers are listening to this podcast, I assume. I would like to propose that if you have an achievement that requires something online, that the achievement also has an offline unlocking mechanic. So, for example, in Mass Effect Andromeda, there are achievements that you got from multiplayer online, but you could also unlock them through a single player game through a different method. I think that all games should have that because it fucking sucks. I don't have too much to say because I don't want to linger on games too much, because the feedback that I have gotten from people that I know listen to this are that they don't like games. So we won't linger on it. But I do have another complaint here. Finding ingredients is driving me crazy for my cooking videos. I mean, there are some really basic, what I would think are like basic ingredients that I cannot find anywhere in my local area. First, it was the veal for the Saltimbocca alla Romana recipe for Indiana Jones, and now Fall Medemus, I don't know how to correctly pronounce it, requires fava beans, and I cannot find fava beans. I called every single grocery store in my town. Nobody carries fava beans. So now I am having to start calling the grocery stores and the towns around me and praying that somebody has fava beans. Because, I mean, I could maybe order them online, but here's the thing. I really, really don't want to order anything from Amazon. But I'm kind of running out of options here. And there's some other ingredients and stuff like there's like a couple Asian recipes coming up, trying to find specific ingredients for that. And it just kind of seems like one thing after another. And I think I anticipated some difficulties in this, but I didn't realize just how challenging it would be to cook these like local these recipes from around the world in my particular local area. Imagine that northern Idaho does not have access to ingredients from the Middle East and Asia. Who could have thought? So this is a struggle I'm going through, and I think I'm not going to end up having any other choice other than having to order from Amazon. But I don't understand why it is so hard to find some of these ingredients and having to go to multiple stores to find what I don't know. I say that this seems like ingredients that should be everywhere, but I've literally never used some of these ingredients before, and here I am trying to incorporate them. So I mean, what does that say, right? So anyways, I'm so frustrated because I've been searching. Like I've said, gone to grocery stores multiple times, called around, couldn't find them, and so now I have to put in place a second hot dog video for this week. It comes out tomorrow instead of doing the Indiana Jones recipe. So I'm going to have a 1 week break in that while I try to track down fava beans. It's literally the last ingredient I need for this damn recipe. And unfortunately, it's like the main ingredient, you know. I don't get it. Anywho, I think that's going to wrap us up. So I have been feeling a little punkish in my music choice lately. So I have a song recommendation for you instead of a podcast one. And it's going to be Punk Tactics by Joey Valence and Bray. Great song. I mean, it's just so fun to like kick back and listen to Joey Valence at all. But I think Punk Tactics is their best song. But check it out. Let me know what you think.